Gilbert, it's time for the Compas Opening Drive. Ready? Sounds like it hurt. Sounds like it hurt.
Not as scary as the fireworks one.
Gilbert, obviously, there was, and right now, obviously, folks, it's April. But people are gonna say there's winners, there's losers of the draft. Just what did you give me? Give me a couple of winners or a couple of losers. Just give me some that you thought, oh, these guys, that guy. Like, just give me what you thought. Give me the winners first, and then I'll give you my winners, and then you give me your losers, and I'll give you a loser.
Yeah, I feel like my mind's all over the place, but I'm gonna try to sort it out. And I feel like I'm always gonna go back to the Eagles. So why not start with the Eagles? I actually gave them an A+ in my live team grades, and they were the ones that got the highest score at Sports Illustrated because of me. And I get the whole Jalen
because
Carter
of you or Howie Roseman.
Me and Howie Roseman. How about that? Yeah, and then he ripped off the Jets, not the Jets, the Lions. Different team, the Lions for DeAndre Swift. But to get Nolan Smith and then get Jalen Carter, and it just shows you how this team or this franchise is able to kind of rebuild quickly and then stay competitive for years to come. And it's going to be tough for the Eagles to have a competitive roster because Jalen Hurts got paid, and now you have to do it through the draft. So to get Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, and then I think Kylie Ringo, the cornerback, and then Sidney Brown, the safety from Illinois, I got it right. Yeah, here we go. So a lot of playmakers to get there, especially on defense after you lost, CJ Gardner-Johnson, was it Hargrave? Yeah, from the 49ers. So you have to reload through the draft. And I thought the Eagles did a great job. And the other one, I kind of a sneaky surprise. I really like the Steelers. You get the tackle and Broderick Jones there. And by the way, how about I was going to say the pettiness from Bill Belichick to trade with the Steelers, knowing the Jets need a tackle, and he was the last one from the top tier. Like, you could have got your boy as Anton Harrison, the Jaguars got, but it would have been a reach there. So to get Broderick Jones and then the Patriots to keep him away from the division was great. And then they get Joey Porter Jr. in the second round to keep it in the family with the Steelers was awesome. So those two stood out to me in terms of the winning side.
I went with the Seattle Seahawks. Man, they went with the reason why I think they went corner is because I think I read somewhere that their cornerbacks missed a lot of tackles last year, which led to more yards. So they get Witherspoon, who's obviously a sure tackler. They like him. They got that receiver from Ohio State, the Jackson. I didn't know his brother played for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, his brother. Now. So those things where they sit down the players and they tell like their family members or the guys that are there at the draft, and they sit down the players and they have them listen. He was like, "Oh, I'm so proud of my," like, it's like his brother was about to do batting practice or something. And he's like, "I'm so proud of my brother. Like, we've grown so much, blah, blah, blah." So Seattle, I think Seattle got a haul, man. I really like exactly what Seattle did. Obviously, what's his name? Pete Carroll is still, man, that dude's building like if he's still going to be there for years to come. So, and he's only 71 years young, I think. So I'm definitely, I know. So I think he really did build, and I think he's done a good job. And I think that team's going to be stacked. I'm not saying that Geno Smith is going to be the quarterback of the future or anything, but I feel like for the next quarter, I think they're building that team. So when the next quarterback comes in, they're all set. DK Metcalf, the Jackson kid, and Tyler Lockett, that's a really good receiving core right there. And I had Indy. I thought Indy drafted very well. They got Anthony Richardson, your man crush of the draft.
There you go. Big hit.
They really, I honestly was very impressed with what they did. You get Josh Downs from North Carolina. They really filled out the rest of their team. They got a running back, they got edge, they got corners, they got offensive linemen. They got everything that they needed to keep on building this team out. And one thing that they've done a good job in is draft DBs. They got Julius Brents out of Kansas State. So there's guys that they got that they can really build off of. And I really liked what Indy did. I really think that they had a strong draft. And now it's obviously they're going to have to go and show it. But Gilbert, give me your losers.
Yeah, real quick, I just want to I'll give you a couple losers, but real quick, I'm curious to see what the Colts do with Richardson because everybody says he's not ready to go. Like after a while, let him sit down, and then you have Gardner Minshew. You're gonna start the season with Gardner Minshew. Like, Fernando, you were there when the Chargers just drafted Justin Herbert, and everybody was saying, Anthony Lynn was saying, Tyrod Taylor's a guy, let him sit. And then the screams got louder and louder, and obviously something else happened. We don't have to go down memory lane too much, but pressure gets going quickly for the rookies to play, and I don't know how long we could do an over and under later on in the Compas Opening Drive episode about how many games Gardner Minshew will play.
The
but that's
players are
kind
gonna
of
have to be the ones that tip it off, though.
Yeah, like it would be like, hey, this guy's ready to go, and then they'll see
Dude,
it. But
you were. I mean, Casey Hayward, Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa, like all these guys were like, hey, like this kid is like he's special, and we were like, like are we buying it or not? And then obviously you see it in Kansas City. By the way, Justin Herbert said he will not ever take a hit like that again. Like the one where he laid that guy out against Kansas City.
Casey.
He said he's trying to learn from that and not do anything like that. He said on
this guy Richardson is much bigger, so you could probably well, actually not much bigger. Herbert's also
I think you just have to ride with him. Not ride with him, like let him start. Maybe go Gardner the first game, see how it goes, and then if it really gets to that point, then and you're down or whatever halfway through,
I'll give it a month.
Yeah. Oh, month. Okay.
Let's give it, or do you want to give your over under real quick?
I'll say 8 games. Over 8 games.
Okay. All right.
I'll say Gardner last 8 games. I think that team is good enough to, and I think Jonathan Taylor bounces back to where they may not need to throw in Anthony Richardson, unless Anthony Richardson just blows everybody away in camp and overpowers Gardner Minshew. But I don't think that'll happen. I think he's gonna have his growing pains as a rookie.
You know what? I'll kind of transition this way for losers. I'm not saying the Colts are losers, but like because they got my guy Anthony Richardson, but like I wish they would have got like they got a more greedy with the weapons, like because they got Michael Pittman, and then what else? Like I don't know. It's not a really
they
good.
Lost Paris Campbell. They've lost some other guys.
Yeah,
that
it's
they
not
had.
a good skill players,
Right.
pass catchers, no tight end. Maybe if Taylor figures it out, he'll be okay. But that's my only concern. But let's move on to the losers.
Well, they did get a tight end from Miami, the Will Mallory, but he's
but again, who
later?
I heard that. But you know what? I'll go with Dan's team, the Detroit Lions. They just had me scratching my head, and I kind of go back and forth with not calling them losers because they did get a Hendon Hooker to be maybe the future quarterback to replace Jared Goff, and I like that type of plan they had for a quarterback. You can't mess around with a quarterback. But the first 3 picks, like, man, I really feel like the hype train for the Lions, like, I'm kind of getting off of it. Like, I might even like the Packers more. I might even like the Vikings more. Like taking the suspension from Jameson Williams, and then, like, doing this weird thing where you reach for Jamari Gibbs, and then you trade your running back to a potential playoff team in the Eagles, DeAndre Swift. Like, you're helping out a rival. That was weird to me. You reach for an off-ball linebacker, Jack Campbell, at 18. And then you pass on Michael Mayer for the guy who's probably the 4th or 5th rated tight end in Laporta. And then Michael Mayer goes to the Raiders, to Victor's franchise. So a lot of head scratchers, but they kind of salvaged it by taking a Brian Branch, who I called Dion Branch a couple of weeks ago. I just remember that. And then they got Hendon Hooker as a future kind of plan there. So it kind of worked out to be a C kind of grade, but the first 3 picks, I'm like scratching my head a little too hard. That's why I got a haircut because of that.
I hope that Motor City Dan Campbell. Do you see what this guy's saying, man? On Compas on the beat, he's saying that Jamar Gibbs can't play, Jack Campbell can't play, and neither can Sam Laporta, man. Let's go out there, man. Let's go give it our goddamn best, man.
I can totally see that happen.
I'm laughing. I'm over here choking and laughing. But
who's your loser?
I got Washington, the Commanders.
Oh, I agree.
I didn't think they did anything special. Man, I honestly, speaking of man, Emmanuel Forbes, like I was kind of like, I kind of had to Google him in a sense. Like when he was drafted, I was like, dude, Anthony Gonzalez was sitting right there. Why wouldn't you?
You mean
why
Christian
wouldn't
Gonzalez?
You go get him? Huh?
What were you saying? Anthony Gonzalez or Christian Gonzalez?
My bad. Christian Gonzalez. My bad.
Wasn't that like a former wide receiver? I forgot.
Yeah, for the Colts, and he turned politician or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why wouldn't you go get Christian Gonzalez? Like the kids, like he was sitting right there. By the way, his drop kind of made me feel like the Derwin James drop from 18. But I was kind of disappointed in the way they drafted. I didn't think they got anything special. I mean, maybe time will tell, but I just didn't like what Washington did with any of their picks. But I mean, I guess I thought they would go get a quarterback maybe.
What if they were surprised that Christian Gonzalez was there and they didn't do any research on him because he probably won't be there? Like, I could totally see that happening to Washington.
You know what's funny? I think teams do end up doing stuff like that though. Like I remember a couple of years ago, Tom wasn't happy because Baker Mayfield was like, "Hey, I'm not going to meet with you guys because obviously, like you guys draft way too late, and I don't expect to be there." So I remember Tom wasn't happy with that one, but yeah, I could totally see teams do that where they're like, "Oh yeah, no, we're not even going to look at this guy. There's no way he's going to be there." But